Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here. So today we're gonna be playing specifically in one particular opening. Uh, Basically, the opening of choice would be Shaman. So let's just go ahead and jump in for an Othello Quest game. So today we're gonna be blitzing. So for the games that I'm playing black, I'll play Shaman opening as much as possible, and for Okay, so we're playing black for this game. Yep, to set up Shaman, you basically have to go to the roles. And yep, the common variation. Okay, so the opponent didn't play rabbit opening, so we'll actually go into Owaku. I'll just call out the ways that I'm playing. So this is a centralizing move. So I'll just call out group center inside, or group small inside. That's the basic principles to start off a game. And basically just taking quiet moves towards the center. So just trying to maintain a group shape, and at the same time trying to obtain access to key positions such as G3 and A4, that kind of squares. So this mini diagonal is controlled by myself. Just branch off to the edge since I already have a tempo advantage. And then now probably I will be able to capture the corner fairly quickly. So now that I have a corner and an edge, it's a little bit more on sweeping the game right now. So this is more like an interior sweep where I control the entire row or column in this case. So Othello Academy being a new account, I had to start off low, probably play some lower ranked players before we actually meet more challenges. So yep, that's the game. We'll be going for the next one right now. Okay, so we have actually got a high rated opponent at 1800. So yep, playing as white right now, we'll just go for the standard rabbit variation. In this case, this is usually the book. I'll go for this one instead. Just cross back into the center, taking a quiet move, chip down to the edge. Just still crisscrossing back along the edge, just securing the edge for tempo right now. And then over here, just crossing back. So over here, another quiet move has opened up. We'll just jump in there. So Othello is a little bit about finding like mini pockets of spaces or quiet moves to actually play. So let's just try to control this and basically control this row. So now just forming a edge shape. So now he's actually surrendered a corner to me. And this should be quite an easy interior sweep wrap-up game. So just sweeping the entire row to make it clean. So I guess this looks like a wipeout situation. Yep. So basically that's the game. Yep. So now right now playing as black. Hopefully we can have actually a Shaman opening if possible. Yeah. So we'll go to the rabbit variation as usual. Yeah, so white plays this, and this is basically the Shaman or Danish opening that I actually prefer sometimes because it's generally easy to centralize your game in this particular opening. So just crossing back into the center, finding some access over here to just cross back into the center again. So this opening is largely about trying to maintain the center shape and capturing the edge where appropriate. Over here, I'll just probably take a chip off to the side, give him the option to think about whether he's taking that. Just keep to this edge and this plane over here. Yep. So over here, we don't really want to form a block, so we'll go for probably a quiet move over here. And yeah, if he doesn't take the edge, I'll take the edge and feed him that unbalanced edge. If he doesn't take it, I'll take it. And yeah, maybe this way we can run him out of moves. So basically we have that edge. So yep, hopefully this should be a simple closeout game. Let's see, maybe just control this entire row. It's almost like a semi-swindle. Then we'll just cut out to this to gain this access, give him the feed to the corner, and yep, basically he's resigned. Let's just go for the next one. So let's go with perpendicular. This is a rose, so just go with the standard book variation. Just cut into the center. Again, this is rotationally symmetrical. This is usually the book. We'll go for this C2 move. Fairly uncommon variation. Probably, usually not many people would actually know that sequence, which is also the key to actually building a reliable and yet uncommon opening, perhaps. So over here, we'll just take a quick quiet move. Cut into the center, create some access to the pockets of spaces over here and here. Just jump in perhaps over here. Instead of this, without allowing him to form an easy pair, and then just head off to this pocket of space. So usually when your opponent is actually going into the center pretty strongly, what you can do is just sort of wrap around the edges and be more passive. Just kind of wait for him to break center shape so that he probably opens up a pocket space somewhere. So this one you would have to actually just take the edge first in anticipation of him taking one move here, and then you can defend this access by playing a move back. So it's almost like a 1-2 punch kind of move or maneuver. So over here, maybe you can go ahead with this to squeeze in for the access to the center and see how that plays out. Sort of like just an exchange in tempo. So situation getting a little tight here. Okay, so he's given me a free swindle over here. So just go ahead for that corner access. He's resigned. Let's go on for the next game. So over here we start off the usual black position, e6. So it's a diagonal. Let's try to go for a rocket opening. Something more uncommon, I guess. And then, yep, this is the standard book variation. Probably just jump in the center and see how that goes. Probably can take a quiet move over here. Just trying to find access over here to the center again, so chose this move instead. Let's just jump into the center, trying to maintain that group center small inside position. Let's just probably remove the excess that he has over here. So over here, you should just feed the unbalanced edge across to him. If he doesn't take it, maybe you could just take the balance edge. And then over here, you could probably ignore the bottom first, perhaps. We'll go to the top. Yep, let's go to the top. And here, probably feed a poison move. Just go for a diagonal cut across. Not too sure whether that works well, to be honest. Let's just jump in over here. He's going to jump into the middle. Feed the unbalanced edge. Now we're controlling this mini diagonal. Hopefully that pays off some way or another. So over here is just checkerboarding this position. Let's just feed that quickly. Feed the unbalanced edge. Maybe just go for this move quickly. Overall, the situation does seem a bit tight. Probably had to take a gamble over here. So he has one consecutive move over here. We're out of time. Okay, so that was probably quite a bad game. Probably rocket openings just seems too overly ambitious. Let's try something safer the next time around, perhaps. So over here, perpendicular, white. We could probably set up a central rose bill opening. Then just go for the safe center cut. Control this line perhaps temporarily. Then just go for consecutive tempo, just sort of like just pushing it. And then once he chases for that excess, we jump in. And then just wait for the pockets or spaces to actually appear to just slot in. So this is more like creating a passive shape. Then now we just slot into a quiet move cut over here. Just diagonal cut across. If he doesn't take it, perhaps we could take it, but he might gain tempo over here, so we'll just avoid that for the time being. Just cut up and defend over here. So let's slot into the middle. Probably bargaining a bit of a position over here. It's probably having an easy quiet move. He missed it. So right now, can probably feed the unbalance. He doesn't take it, I'll take it. Right now he probably has to take it. Just cut into the center for the excess. He might jump into the X square perhaps. Yes, he did. So we'll go for the edge play. Try to run him out of excess here. Is this playable? This diagonal control. And then a chip to the side to create an excess. If he takes the X square, we'll feed this and jump into for the wedge. Yep, so he's taken the corner and we have the wedge, and we'll just go for the corner and just basically try to sweep the remaining disc. Okay, so yep, that was probably quite a huge win. Let's just keep going. So against diagonal, we'll probably try to go for the snake opening for the next time round, perhaps. Right now, still playing white. Yeah, let's keep going for probably maybe 1200 rating, perhaps. So this is an Italian opening. So as you can see, most of the moves that I'm playing is basically just centralizing, exchanging tempo a bit here and there. So over here is a bit, so feed the unbalanced edge, control the center. Not too sure this move. Probably this move is better. Just take a chip off to the side because the earlier center move was a bit poison, maybe way too loud. Jump into the center, remove the excess over here. And let's see how this plays. If he goes here, perhaps we could try here. Yeah, we'll jump into the pocket that he's created for us. And just feed that unbalanced edge. Continue to just feed, make him form that edge. Jump in over here first because the top part is more urgent. The bottom is not, the right side is not really that urgent. Okay, we'll just go into that pocket of space while maintaining this center shape over here. So you don't really need to go and touch the right side if there isn't a need. Probably a quiet move over here and just wait for moves to happen. And probably do this to swindle and feed the unbalanced edge. And jump in for this quiet move. And yep, just perhaps feeding this will give away the diagonal control. Let's do the diagonal control first. And yep, go for the stoner trap perhaps. Then we'll jump in over here to get the corner. Feed this to enhance the value of this edge perhaps. Just stretch it out a little and pull it. Okay, so he just resigned over here. So we have 1000 rating at this moment. Okay, so we'll continue with the games. So the main opening play will still be Shaman as much as possible. So in the event of a diagonal, let's just go with perhaps the cow opening. Just go for probably a counter chimney. So just exchanging tempo on the side. probably go for, okay. Just crossing into the center. Just taking the edge. Let's just cross back. Just cross over for the excess. Just maintain the edge. Probably try to form a pair if possible. If not, yep, you'll probably disrupt it. Form that unbalanced edge below. At the moment, no threat of being attacked, but probably need to plan ahead a little. It's probably gonna take it, and then we'll just feed it for tempo's sake. He has one move over here, which could probably sacrifice the corner exchange for a wedge move. Yep. Probably diagonal control over here in exchange for his diagonal control. Yeah, probably a bit early, I guess. Feed the unbalanced edge across and just jump in over here for this unbalanced edge attack. Let's take the corner. He'll probably take corner. Take a quiet move for a slot here. Jump in once he's played. Oh, okay. He's taken the corner, so that's probably relatively easier now. Just go for the cut move. Just go for the easy access and just sweep across to the right. Okay. Yep. So that was fairly lucky, I guess. So right now I'm playing black. Hopefully you can play a bit of Shaman opening. So rapid version. Okay, so over here this kickstarts the Shaman opening. Go to the edge. Then we'll just jump into the center. Yep, and then go down to the edge. So Shaman opening is fairly weighted on centralization and also probably exchanging some moves to the edge. So let's see how that plays out. Just protect the center for now. If he takes this, okay, we're probably not too sure whether we want to jump in here at this moment. It will give away a quiet move to the bottom. Let's take the chip to the side first and see whether he responds. Okay, grab the edge. Perhaps, so a bit contesting over here. Feed. And grab the center. Jump in for a quick quiet move, feed the unbalanced edge and go for the head and tail if he takes the edge. Just go for the tail end of it. And go for the line control maneuver. Just jump in for a quick consecutive moves perhaps. Okay, over here a bit stuck. Probably didn't turn out as well as I would have liked. But let's just go for the passive one gap to the edge. If he does feed the unbalanced edge, to go for the wedge, you can see whether we have access below. Probably it might work out because if he takes this, we have control of this entire column. And then we'll just jump into the top and just go this way down. Grab the corner, just grab the parity to the top left first. Then probably take this to finish up this row. Okay. Okay, playing as black. Probably another chance for the Shaman opening. Then, nope, he went for Mimura, so we're cutting through across. So let's just try to go for the center. So just cutting across to the center as much as possible. Then going to the edge, preventing this excess. Not sure if that's the best. Grab the edge. So this is a bit forceful in terms of just trying to control and taking the edge. Probably a little bit more offensive for the edge play. Probably take a line control semi-quiet move across. take this excess away, perhaps. Then let's jump in to the edge. Probably give away a center control. Jump in. Here, regroup over here. Probably just have to take a center passive approach outwards. Line control over here. Just grab the edge, create that disc over here, get this excess. Probably jumping in here. We could take away the excess over here. Let's try that. See whether that's effective. Take away this diagonal control excess again. Jumping in over here. Not too sure what works out best at the moment. It's a bit tough to control the diagonal at the moment. Let's just grab the corner first. Try to get 2 tempos. Control this line temporarily. Let's get this move as well. Gain the tempo and yep. So basically, grab corner. So just finish off the game that way. Yeah, probably tighter than I would have liked, but yeah. Result was still okay, I guess. So now starting to probably pair against one of the higher rated players. So as you get probably players that are above 2000 rated, they are actually more between like an advanced to almost nearing to an expert level player. So yeah, over here just playing natural Kommoth variation. Yeah, I think I might have subconsciously played this variation a little bit too hasty, so there isn't much of a concept discussion over here. So just pretty much largely going to the center, trying to maintain that shape across. Let's go for probably a chip to the edge. Try to create an additional move over here for myself. Probably go for the poison over here in case he takes this. Feed the unbalance, create that center square. I'm not too sure if I actually gained the tempo. Probably have to jump in over here right now in terms of controlling the diagonal. So right now he's created the excess, probably just feed it. And if he doesn't take it, it will control the diagonal. Now that he's taken it, probably jump in over here so that I can get either one of those moves. Yeah, right now it seems to be quite difficult now that he's captured this edge. So very strong play by this Caron guy. Jump in over here. He has the swindle to the top. Almost seems unnatural for that ending, I guess, but no problem, I guess. Yeah. Let's go for the Shaman opening. Okay. Probably pressed that move a little bit too hasty. Let's jump into the center. Trying to get this excess over here. Let's go for the excess. Quiet move. Almost like a head and tail theory. Jump in for the poison. Take the edge. Take the edge for the tempo. Just control that move. Take the quiet move across. Go for the quiet move. Maybe the top one might have been better. Grab the edge excess since he seems to be running out of moves. Just try to control a balance edge. He probably take this. Yep. Feed the pair. He goes for the pair. We'll go for the diagonal control. and then probably feed the edge. Might be an option, but we lose that excess over here. Yeah, alternatively we could feed this. Now let's try this perhaps. Yep. And then he goes for that. Probably try to wrap up to the top for parity since he's played this. Go for the... okay, yep. And then basically gives this away. We'll go for the excess over here. And probably this move to end off. Yep. So... okay, let's go for the next game. Let's just try to work our way to probably 1200 first. So this is probably a relatively new account as well. Going for the perpendicular. Now let's try Commoth again. Probably made a mistake earlier somewhere. So this is quite a book variation in terms of just exchanging the tempo. And then building off the edges, we go to the center. Cut into the center and going for another center control move. Go for the poison move here. Jump right in over here for the center control. Go for the poison move first. Then cut off to the side. Go for the pocket move and maintain this diagonal control. Can probably go for C square chip to the side, followed by the feed. Hopefully he takes the unbalanced edge. Okay, take this, defend the corner first. Okay, he goes for that. Potentially you could do this first. Alternatively, you could go here. Probably takes the diagonal control. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, we'll just wrap this up over here first, and then go for the feed in terms of the unbalanced edge. And try to wedge in between. He probably might go here. Okay, so he'll go there. Then probably just try to go for this one first. Probably take the corner, and then finally wrap it up over here. It's a close loss, unfortunately. Tough game. So let's see whether we can actually play some Shaman opening over here. Okay, so we have the Shaman shape develop. Go to the edge. Grabbing into the center. Cutting into the center. Across this plane. Just chipping off to the edge at the side. Jumping into the center perhaps. Yep, let's try that. You could probably go here. Okay. Then we'll just jump over here. Then perhaps we could go for the edge move, looking to form a pair there. So it's slightly more biased in terms of how it's oriented. Probably not a great move now that he has controlled the center. Can probably jump in this way. Feed the unbalanced edge. Okay, jump in for the center corner access. Cut off this way. Probably does seem a bit off now. The opponent does seem very strong at this point in time, fairly nestled into the game. Let's try this move perhaps. Try to throw him off a bit. Still a bit challenging at the moment. It seems like tempo-wise it's still a lost cause perhaps. Let's go for the corner. This opponent does seem a little bit too strong for me. Timed out. Okay. That was quite a difficult opponent to play, I guess. Okay. Playing as white. Let's try to go for the central rose bill opening, perhaps, if there is that opportunity. If not, we'll go for the calm off variation. So this is Tama Plaza. Just controlling the center again. Let's just go for the center. Cut. Probably a head and tail. Quiet move. Try to get some consecutive moves along this way. Jump in to the center. Grab the center. Just maintain a one square gap to try to contest for the edge in a meaningful way, perhaps. Probably jump out over here to try to regroup to the right. Okay, he's taken this. It's almost like a B square swindle or something. So keep to the edge over here and just maintaining that unbalanced edge, waiting to be balanced perhaps if there is an opportunity. Let's jump into the center while maintaining this diagonal over here. Let's jump in here and see how that goes. Grab the balanced edge. Okay, probably take this move while it's still a nice quiet move. Cut the excess into this main diagonal, which probably might be crucial in the future. Take the balance edge and almost probably secure the win. Just waiting for the opponent to feed the corners. Okay, let's just go for a little bit more and try to get the 1200 rating. So let's go for the cow variation, chimney to the top or into the center. Then let's try to cut this across diagonally, create excess. Jump into the center. Probably take a quiet move to the side over here, just sidestep and just try to regroup. Just cut into the center since we lost that excess. Could probably take one to the top since there are two and the moves, so white is fairly spread out to the sides. Can probably try to capitalize a little bit on that. Just jump into the center. This quiet move might be open up. Let's just chip to the side. It's almost like a cross over here and waiting for another cross back if possible. We'll just remove this first before we cross back over here to try to create an additional tempo over here. Okay, so probably prevent this move and just further feed that unbalanced edge across. Then jump in for the excess. A quiet move has opened up here due to this move removing this. Let's just go for the diagonal control since this is an unbalanced edge that is probably going to be attackable in the future. Go for this for 3 or 4 in the corner maneuver. We'll just feed the top part first. Go over here to just feed that unbalanced edge or sort of complete that shape. We'll just go for this to force that on excess that he's going to find. Feed this and then he'll go for the corner and then we'll go for this in exchange. We'll wrap it up to the right and then probably this way, secure that lower left corner followed by completing to the top right. Okay, so we are at 1189. probably, hopefully, just one more game will seal the deal for the gameplay. Probably didn't have much of a chance to actually show Shaman opening that much, but the idea is basically to just demonstrate probably the strength of using specialized openings. If you know the particular opening, you can actually just play to your strength. Let's just keep to our edge over here and just form a passive shape, cut across, maintain this access, almost leaving this pocket space for both players to just try to contest for it. Right now there isn't an urgency, so you can just sort of like just jump around it or just dance around it until when you find it's necessary, then you just jump into the center for that access. So he's going to go for the center cut. We'll go for the center 16 move, quiet move. Over here is another move here. Maybe we could do this as a prevention move, perhaps. That is one option. You'll probably get this quiet move. Okay, can probably jump in over here. Let's just prevent this from happening for now. Let's just go for this access. He might jump into a one square gap. Yep, we'll feed the poison because he just flipped to this. Okay, he does it. We'll just cover up this spot. So basically just going for the safe squares on the region to the right and just trying to pull him down to the bottom to create that corner access and to run him out of moves. Okay, so he's gone in. We'll just keep to the edge. Just try to finish up the moves over here if possible. He's played this. Maybe we can try this on the head and tail theory. Tail end, go for the diagonal control. Yep, and he's resigned. Okay, so we basically hit 1200, and also the nickname has actually gone into green status. Hey guys, so unfortunately there was a disconnection in my previous video, so you actually see a black box between the earlier rating at probably 1230 or so and now at 1390. So yeah, we'll go on with playing black as a cow variation against diagonal opening, and with that disc actually going to the center of the board. As a counter to the side, we'll just cross back and just take the center and just regroup those discs. Go for a simple quiet move across and do like a waiting. We'll nestle the disc in the center, wait for the opportunity to regroup these discs. Over here, probably jump in to regroup, probably wait for him to clear out this one. If he doesn't, we'll just jump into the center and create that access across. Just cut back. Make him form that unbalanced edge. If he doesn't take it, we'll take it. So we'll take this unbalanced edge, cross into the center, cutting out. So basically we only need to worry about these two exposed discs over here. So just play out quiet moves to this side and just try to run him out of move. Over here, if we do this, he might feed the unbalanced edge attack. So we'll go for the quiet move instead. Construct that and just jump out to the center over here to save squares. So we'll continue to progress this way until he's sort of pushed to the side. And if he doesn't, we'll go for probably the diagonal control, since he doesn't have any way to actually cut back to get the corner access. And then over here, we'll probably just jump in here as more of a passive move and just wait for him to take all the force moves. Grab the corner, take this corner, then play down to the odd region for parity. Then we'll just go for the corner and yep, wait for him to just finish up this. We'll go for the swindle over here with this control of the 7th row. Finish up the game, we'll move on. Let's try to target either 100 games or 2100, whichever comes earlier. Let's see how that goes. So just waiting for the next opponent. Yeah, playing as white. So for white, we'll actually go for a perpendicular for now. And then we'll just play out to either the Commoth or the Terminary. Okay, since he plays Leader's Tiger, we'll just play. So just jump out and jump in back. Then we'll just regroup those discs again. Then play easy quiet move over here perhaps. And over here, you could probably go for this move just to try to form out a pair or grab the edge. Yeah, if he goes here, we'll just take the swindle, which is the B square swindle. Control this edge over here. We'll just take quiet moves as they come. So over here, it is a quiet move. Just probably jump in over here since it's fairly quiet and keeping to my side of the board. Just waiting for, just moving and keeping to my side and waiting for probably obvious mistakes from the opponent. Okay, over here we can just jump in over here. Since the discs are actually directed upwards, we'll just try to move up before we just come back down, perhaps. Just regroup into the center. Okay, we could probably jump in over here, just keeping to the edge and see whether he jumps in for this excess, but we can grab back the edge and just remove that excess. Yep, so a bit beginning to force him actually to, feeding the unbalanced edge. So after we've exhausted those moves to the side, we'll just use up this few safe moves that we have over here. Not too sure if it works out. We'll go here and then probably jump in here with the diagonal control. So over here seems fairly safe because he doesn't have an easy move. We'll take the corner, grab this, just filling up the sides as we progress. So we'll just take it over here, yep, and then just sweep the last bit, yep. Okay, good game. We'll just move on. Probably hoping to target about 4 or 5 done, at least within this video. Okay, Super Ace. Super Ace is basically the world champion of 2019. It's just happened last year. He's a very talented young player from Japan. Almost looked unstoppable in the previous tournament and generally online. So we'll just see how we measure up, perhaps. So over here, just trying to play easy, quiet moves and just play the standard book variation. So over here is a cut out, control this mini diagonal, jumps out, we'll control this mini diagonal just as a centralizing move. And then we'll just jump over here to C8 to just try to direct the game to the bottom. Okay, so apparently he knows the book very well. It is probably in my best interest to just try to play safer moves. Just jump in the center, create this excess or this stalemate of an edge over here. Go for the quiet move for him, and then for me to just regroup back, perhaps. But definitely in terms of book, it'll probably be difficult to contest against a world champion for sure. So probably give up this edge. Jump in for the temporary diagonal control. You'll probably go for the excess to the corner. Probably be forced to actually feed the corner, perhaps. Yeah, so it is a bit difficult right now. Probably you could just try feeding the corner over here and then try to hope for that unbalanced edge across. Try to go for a double swindle. Yep, he fills up the spot first. We'll try to go for the interior discs and just feed down this line first. Don't have much of a choice at the moment, I guess. So, yeah. Just sweep down this way. A bit difficult. Yep, so good game, world champion. Definitely difficult to play Super Ace. It's definitely the Super Ace of Japan. So that game earlier probably put me out of the comfort zone, and he definitely knows the book opening fairly well. So it was difficult to actually just try to comment and play live. So over here we'll just go for the calm-off variation. Just go to the center for Tama Plaza. Jump straight down. Okay, this is also another common book variation for Tama Plaza. So we basically just regroup over here. So the gist of here is to actually take this, and then he probably feeds the poison. Yep, we'll just jump in over here. So this is probably a less intuitive move. We'll just jump into the center and try to go for maybe double tempo. Yeah, but we can't lose the center as well, so let's occupy the center. Grab the edge perhaps. So yep, as I move up the ranks, it does seem like I'm beginning to pair against very strong opponents, which is actually quite tough to command and play at the same time. We'll just try to push forward as much as possible. Create this equilibrium edge to jump in to exchange tempo. So feed the unbalanced edge, jump in for the X square, and then for consecutive tempo over here. So just go for the next move as well, and then secure this part more like a semi-wedge maneuver. Then perhaps we can go in over here. If he goes for the corner, then we'll just let him have the corner, but in exchange we probably do get parity in return, potentially. Yep, so right now he's cornering this. We'll just trade off that move. So we'll probably go for the corner, yep, and then the sweep. We'll just sweep it back in exchange for that move. Not too sure if that actually works out. Okay, that was a bad move on my part. Should have secured the corner actually, and then followed by that move. Okay, so let's just continue to push forward. I didn't disable. So when you see Othello 2 bot or something like that, you're basically playing a computerized generated AI on the app. So they play extremely fast, not at the best level for sure. But yeah, usually I do set that settings as off, so I don't really have to pair against artificial intelligence, because I definitely prefer to play against human players to understand more human tendency and moves. So we'll just play quick and quiet moves as much as possible and hopefully try to secure the game. Sometimes it does get a bit tricky playing against AI opponents because you can't really get a feel of what exactly the AI is doing. So just feed this unbalanced edge across. He's taken away the success. We'll just grab the corner for now. It does seem to be losing a bit of moves over here, so we'll just cross back, create back the excess. Yeah, almost seems a bit strange for some of the moves that the AI is actually making. But yeah, we'll actually take this. Probably a quick parity maneuver over here and feed this, and then finish up the game this way. Okay, let's just press on to probably 2100 as much as possible, because this video is basically going to be dedicated for anyone playing Othello Quest for the first time and trying to understand the dynamics. So we started off at 29Q. At the start, we slowly moved our way up to 17Q. And 1479 rating. We want to just push forward a little bit more. So as in the Dankyo system of Japan, actually how it works is you usually start off with maybe 30Q or so. So you actually move up your way in the ranking as the numbers count down. So when you finally reach the top of the Q system, you would actually be in 1Q. And then the moment you get promoted to the next level, you actually go up to the Dan level. So for Dan, how it works is actually starts off with 1 Dan, and then it slowly counts up all the way to 9 Dan as a maximum. I think for Othello Quest, they actually implement a 10 Dan system, so you can actually go up as high as 10 Dan. So as far as I know, probably the only human player that has gotten the highest is Super Ace at 8 Dan, and probably 1 or 2 other people in the 5-minute settings at least. So over here, we are just playing to the edge. Yep, so if you just watch the moves, we'll feed the unbalanced edge, and then we'll go for the X square to feed off the corner. So we can attack and wedge over here and attack that unbalanced edge and exchange. So yep, he's gone in for that move. Yeah, over here actually we can take one more move to set it up, because if he takes here, we can just feed this and just enhance the value of this corner, and then try to connect this corner to the next corner, in fact. So after he's run out of moves over here, you could consider just playing a simple move. Yeah. So we'll set up a move over here and then just regroup perhaps to over here, and then just try to preserve parity as much as possible. And then just wrap up the game this way. Okay, so we're now up to 1500. So usually as you progress at the start of a new account, the rating actually jumps pretty high up quickly, because you're not actually, your rating is actually not really defined, or the standard deviation is pretty high. So you generally gain more points and probably lose a couple of points here and there. So PO Archer, 1800 player. We'll go with. Oh, I actually missed the Shaman opening. So for this game, we'll probably play the Tiger, many blacks, and then playing it out to Rose Bill. So this is a fairly common opening. So if you want to actually create a little bit more confusing games for your opponent, you probably wouldn't want to play this opening, because it's probably one of the earliest openings that most people learn or specialize in. So you wouldn't actually get that surprise factor. So just try to jump in over here to the top edge and try to get consecutive tempo, unless he removes this. So now he hasn't. We'll just jump in one more move to basically try to gain more tempo in a particular area, and yep, we'll grab the edge. So jump into the center, controlling this mini diagonal, resulting in him needing to find access somewhere else. We'll go for the diagonal cut across, and just try to close out the moves over here. So jump into the center. So yeah, basically Othello is just all about just trying to centralize, limit your opponent's mobility, and then once that is done, you grab an edge, and then you can probably force corner access from your opponent to yourself, and grab the corner, stabilize the disc, and then just try to get as more than 33 or more stable discs, and basically win the game. So at least that's the basic idea. For sure, some of the world champion or world class level players may differ in the idea. They'll probably just go for mobility all the way. We'll just sweep down to this corner move, try to push for a little bit of parity. We'll take the corner first to force this move, and then box off this region for parity as much as possible. So over here, we'll just sweep down the row to force parity as well. Since he doesn't take it, we'll take it. So towards the end, I would say it's probably a little bit opposite as to what we normally talk about group small inside. We try to limit this at the start as much as possible, but towards the end, it's fine if you're trying to actually sweep up as many discs as possible in the last few squares, because you don't really have any options left in play, at least. So over here, black is playing Tiger. We'll go with the Taminori opening. Just cross back and probably following the book sequence pretty much. So over here, it's pretty much all book until, yep, he made this variation. We'll jump probably into the center and see what happens. So over here, he's done a quiet chip move over here. Probably looking to cross back. We'll try to prevent that. Perhaps we can jump in over here, create that pocket space for him to jump in, and we can regroup in the future. So right now he's actually trying to secure the tempo on this right side. So instead, we could probably try to work our way around that and try to gain access this way. Yep. And we'll cut out to prevent him from getting this move. Play a quiet move, defend that line. Probably feed the poison to the edge over here, feed that unbalanced edge across. Okay, so yeah, Saint Athena is actually quite a strong player. We want to take note probably not to remove this black disc too early, because it creates that poison. So right now we can probably try to feed the corner, attack the unbalanced edge. Okay, over here we could now remove this since we're not so worried about the poison to here anymore. If he does take it, we'll just grab the edge back. If he takes the corner, we'll just slot in for the wedge. Okay, we'll take it back. Okay, so he's controlled this diagonal. That's very smart play by him. Okay, we'll defend this edge first, and he'll probably close it off. We'll defend this diagonal control. Jump in, even though he does have the quiet move perhaps, we'll probably go for this. Okay, so yep, almost timed out, and yep, in the end I did time out. This is a bit difficult to actually play. Okay, so we're playing AI. So start off with black. Just basically maintaining the center shape. Again, controlling the mobility. Try to find some opportunity to actually feed off the unbalanced edge perhaps over here. Jump into the center. Continue to build. Yep, we'll just attack this semi-unbalanced edge that is created. Jump into the center. Yep, feed off the unbalanced edge. So now you have a double unbalanced edge to attack. We can feed either one. So we could just trade off this move across. We'll keep this in mind because we want this to actually poison the moves to the top. So yep, we'll just jump into pockets of spaces over here and just finish up the game. Probably sweep that last bit of this. Yep, so that game is done. 15Q at the moment. So yep, this is basically blitz games. It's 1 minute. Marpon is a very outstanding player, but yep, let's see what we can do. We'll play white in this game. Then we'll go for the calm off. Just jumping into the center over here, taking a quiet move cut. So this is a fairly known book sequence, and it is a bit surprising that some players would actually like to just keep on building and honing that book. So yeah, it's understandable that everyone wants to win, so it's not that surprising. We'll jump into the center over here. So over here, bit uncertain on what we could do perhaps. Probably feed the unbalanced edge, and then we'll take the inner area, the inner square, wait for him to actually attack for the balanced edge, and then we'll feed this X square to feed the corner and attack the unbalanced edge. In return, probably try to create an excess by cutting over here to try to attack this square. We also want to try to attack this diagonal to get this corner. So feed this off. We could continue extending, or we could just jump in straight for the excess. He could probably do something extreme to defend it, which actually might be good for him. Yeah, probably jump in. We probably lose that excess. Okay, so now it looks very dangerous. So over here we could go this way down. Let's try something extreme. He will defend the diagonal for sure. We'll go for this. See whether we can make use of the swindle. Doesn't seem likely, at least. Probably shouldn't have done this feat, even though we do have the swindle over here. So we'll go for this move and then wrap it up over here. Wow, okay, so somehow it did manage to work out and we did secure that win. So let's move on. Probably take a break since earlier on we were stopping at 1200. Probably try to take a break when we reach about 1600. So this is the Shaman opening. So usually the Shaman opening doesn't really pay off against top players for sure. And Marquand does seem like a top player, so he probably knows the ins and outs of this opening. So it does seem a bit challenging to actually just try to pull this one off against him. But we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, just trying to continue playing to the edges. Initially it was more of a centralized, and then now you just jump to the edge. Try to contest for access in more of a regular shape. We form a block in anticipation of him jumping out, and then we could go here perhaps. Now we just cross back and wait for maybe a quiet move down here. Yep, we could probably try this. So let's just cross back and control this shape. Jump to the center. Then over here does seem a bit challenging. Probably take a passive shape. He'll probably jump in over here to feed. Okay, he didn't. That's a bit surprising. So go ahead to find that excess before we feed the unbalanced edge off to him and attack that unbalanced edge back. Perhaps. Okay, so we'll now feed the unbalanced edge across to him. Potentially attacking this way. So in terms of tempo, definitely look like I'm losing out by a whole bunch. Okay, let's try to extend this side first before we go for this corner access, which we want to grab to the top left perhaps. So I kind of pre-moved that move a little too early perhaps. So now it's a tight. Okay, so right now somehow we managed to secure parity and we hit 1600. Okay, so now that we have 1600, let's just try to push a little harder and move forward to 1800 perhaps. So hopefully that should be relatively easy if we actually get a streak going on while we are still within the Q level rank. So we'll go with the perpendicular. There's a cross back, cross into the center. Stephenson will go calm off, just cut into the center. So not much change in the overall strategy to just remain group small and inside. Just go for the cross back over here, playing into the center. So we'll poison this move that black has across. He might just jump in over here, okay. And then his next good move will be over here. Could probably just jump in. Okay, we can probably go for the quiet move over here against this entire row. So more like a 1-2 and then punch out. Okay, we'll go for the edge. Since this is not poison, he can't do this and expect me to flip this along this diagonal, so that's fine. If he does go for this, we can probably grab the edge. Okay, now that he hasn't done that, we'll probably just go for this equilibrium edge, forming that potential point of entry to actually attack this unbalanced edge. Right now we need to create an excess before we actually feed it across. So let's just feed this and go for this move, follow up. So we need to maintain at least this particular disc over here. So it's impossible to contain that, we'll just feed this across. Not too sure whether this would actually work out, to be honest. Doesn't seem so, because we're forced to the edge and the corner. Yeah, so that was a difficult game. Opponent played quite an excellent Tama Plaza. I probably didn't play the counter as well as I would have liked. Let's just move on. for the black opening again to Shaman. So let's go for the usual cut into the center, go to the edge, and then the point move that is quite standard in the Shaman opening. Then now he's cut out, we'll go for the center. This is another center cut move, looking to just feed this unbalanced edge. He doesn't take it, we'll take it. And if he jumps in, we'll probably jump into the center. Just cut out. So we'll feed the we'll feed this potential unbalanced edge. Probably feed this instead. Jump right into the center, maintaining access to this move. Probably jump in down to the center, since this is probably not that urgent, relatively speaking. It's unlikely that he'll take the unbalanced edge to the top. So we'll just take the bottom first. Just wait for this particular move, the timing of entry. Okay, we'll defend the edge. Probably the next one we'll go here. If he does take it, we'll take this down. Yep, so he's defended it, so we'll poison this edge. Try to create that excess. Yep, so we've taken this to try to create that excess back on this move. So he's gone there. We'll probably just go for the corner. Try to hit consecutive moves across over here. Yep, we'll take this. And then we'll form that equilibrium potential edge to the top, just leaving one square gap, waiting for the move. So this is more like a wait maneuver. We'll take the quiet move. Take the corner that he's fed us. So just maintain the edge. Just wrap up the game over here by taking the corner. Okay, so yeah, so he's decided to just time himself out. We'll just move on from here. Try to push forward. The same guy. Okay, let's go with the white perpendicular opening. And the usual sequence. Leader's Tiger will just jump out, and then if he crosses over, we'll just jump back in. And then we'll just jump out again. So as you basically play, you probably realize that there are patterns to discover. We'll just play a quick quiet move down to the cut. He'll probably get back that excess. We'll cut for this particular disc to access outwards again, or probably we'll feed this down first before we do this move. Then we'll jump over here to threaten the edge. Not too sure whether we should be capturing this edge, but let's just go ahead with capturing it to assume tempo. And then over here, what we could do is jump into the center, wait for some opportunity to come up. Let's just regroup to the right first. Then we'll go for this move to regroup. Probably not too great to form a wall, but at the moment doesn't seem like we have a better option. We'll just grab the top first. Cut to the diagonal, cut. And then feed in. Okay, we'll just go for a defensive inner edge move over here. We'll take the edge for tempo. Doesn't seem like it may work out, but yeah, we'll take it as it comes. Probably just grab the unbalanced edge first. Probably go this way down. Doesn't seem too promising for white at the moment, but we'll defend this mini diagonal first. Take 2 gaps away to try to threaten this corner. If he feeds back, we'll just grab the equilibrium edge 1 gap away. Go for the corner. Take this, we'll take this. Go for this corner down. Feed the edge. Go for this. We'll try to retain this move as much as possible. Go for the sweep. Okay, so it's a draw. Probably missed something there. Okay, JDCR, quite a high ranked player. probably the game would be tough. We'll just go ahead to play Shaman. Usually, I probably don't really advocate playing Shaman against a top player, but for the sake of this demonstration, we'll just go ahead to play. So we'll just jump into the center over here, that exchange for Shaman opening. He'll go down here. We'll take the quiet move on the back end of it in the head and tail theory sense. He takes the cross. We'll probably take the cross back. And then probably cross downwards perhaps. That's one quiet move as well that we could play to. Defend the edge since he's initiated the edge entry. So over here just sort of maintaining a more passive shape and waiting for something to happen. Okay, over here we'll just take a quick quiet move. He'll feed the unbalance and pocket that. We'll just jump in and cut for this access to balance back potentially. Let's just go with the balance perhaps. So now we'll take away this access for white to actually regroup to the top and thus maintain this access. Perhaps we could actually continue downwards here. Defend that right edge. Okay, over here now situation seems to be a little tight. Could consider the diagonal control actually. But let's just go with the outer cut for 2 consecutive moves on the top left. In exchange for that, probably cut out to maintain a 2 square gap, try to attack the corner. Go for a stoner trap with the momentary diagonal control and just feed in for the stoner trap. Hopefully that works out somehow. We'll take the edge, we'll take the corner, we'll defend the edge, yep. And then we'll go this way down and just go for the finishing move. Okay, so that is probably one of the benefits of Shaman opening. It maintains quite a passive shape in the mid game, and yeah, gives relatively easy response in the mid game. But the end game tends to be a bit tricky. You would probably need to play a bit counterintuitive moves. You almost look like you're losing, but you might have a win somewhere there. So this is probably the okay, Inoue against Iago opening. We'll just go with the typical response to just make a diagonal cut, go for the quiet move, and capture the edge to the left in this case. We'll just jump in, regroup those discs together immediately. Then probably just maintain the edge side, waiting for him to unpoison this move over here to D8. He doesn't, so we'll go for this move that he's unpoisoned instead. So this is a quiet move cut. And then we'll go in between these spaces that has opened up. So now he's formed a sort of balance hitch together with a pair. We'll just go for the center. We'll just maintain that particular center shape. And then now that he's closed off this access, we'll just probably form almost like a 4 square pair over here, or this open space, so we could just defend the edge pretty simply. And then over here we could probably just poison this access that black has created for himself, grab the edge. He'll probably jump out. Okay, we'll jump out as well. He doesn't have a direct access over here, so he'll create that access back for himself. Makes sense. We'll just defend the edge over here. So yeah, the sequence seems to be quite intuitive. We'll just go to the edge over here, just continue building to the bottom right, and just forcing him to an X square. If he just runs out of safe squares to play, he would then have to surrender the corner, yep, which is what is happening right now. We'll just defend this. We'll go for the quiet move and then followed by the corner access over here. This is almost like a swindle. And then we'll probably jump in for that corner access. We can wait for that move, so we'll just hang on for a bit. Just cover this up first, followed by the sweep on both the last 2 empty squares. Let's just keep pressing on. Okay, we are playing against an AI, parallel opening by the AI, so we just want to regroup all this. We just continue to maintain the center cut. So now that the center cut is too strong, we'll just go around it. after you go around it, you'll find another way to actually cut out. So that's the typical way to actually find cuts in Othello, which might be useful. Let's just probably go to the center at the moment, cut out, and then we'll defend this edge. We'll just cut again to try to find this crucial disc to gain access. Okay, doesn't seem to be going my way at the moment because the AI seems to be defending his edge pretty well. So we'll try to feed off this unbalanced edge to just jump in. So the AI seems to be playing a little too fast for his own good, perhaps. I think he might actually have had an opportunity to trap me earlier. So let's go down this way. Probably feed the edge here, go for parity, and then finish the game this way, down. Sorry if I almost seem like I'm mumbling to myself. So sometimes in Blitz it is hard to actually just talk too many meaningful comments, but we'll just try our best. So we'll go for the perpendicular opening, then just cross, and then the diagonal cut. So since opponent is playing Tiger, we'll go for the terminary opening as much as possible. So terminary is just cut out and just diagonal cut across. Probably go with the book sequence in exchange. Terminary being a fairly common opening, it's probably well known to most people. So this is almost like a book sequence. Usually terminary opening as white is good to actually play against people who actually uses the bot, perhaps. So just jump in over here to the X square, perhaps, to try to play an uncommon line. He'll probably follow with C7 to try to go for a swindle, potentially, but then just jump in over here to attack the corner. Yep, we'll attack the corner. Then over here, we could actually follow up this way. Just make sure that black doesn't capture this disc for a swindle. Then over here we can play this move, just maintaining this edge control. Just want to defend this line first. So, okay, opponent has jumped in. We'll try to go for the corner access. It's almost like a stoner trap that he's done. Pretty impressive over here. Probably go for the corner access first. He'll probably defend the corner. Okay, he doesn't defend the corner in this case. Go down here, forcing him to go here, and then we'll go here, try to cover up that side. Not too sure whether this will play out as much as I want, but yep, it does seem like we have an advantage in terms of tempo. Just go down this way, perhaps. Just block off this way. So it did lose, unfortunately. Believe I might have actually missed the win line over there, but that's fine. We'll just try to move on. Opponent played quite an impressive game over there. So right now we're at 13Q, just trying to move up the ratings as much as possible within the session. So right now I'm playing a Stephenson. I realized I missed the Shaman again, probably because I felt a bit defensive. Let's try Logistello. So Logistello is another opening that is actually pretty interesting. Usually results in a lot of tempo exchange and interesting gameplay. So just jump into the center. Although we're flipping a lot of this, but just trying to form a block shape and wait for opportunities to come. Okay, opponent has played this. Move out. We do want to wait for a while to see whether there is any opening that the opponent gives up. So just keep to our side of the board and wait for some mistakes from the opponent, perhaps. So now the opponent is cut out. We want to defend this in case he attacks over here. So probably go for the edge at the side. Feed that he'll probably go for the quiet move over here to form that balance edge. Okay, so he doesn't, so we'll just jump into the center. And then we'll probably take the edge for tempo. So he's gone for the edge, we'll take the edge for tempo. Probably a better unbalanced edge that is less attackable versus taking the one over here. Okay, so right now we'll just take to this side and just keep to our side of the board in the time being. We'll cut out over here. Let's see, probably just take the quiet move first before forming up that arch shape over here. We'll feed that unbalanced edge and then go for the pocket move. Then let's take the edge since he hasn't taken it. Okay, since he's actually gone for a very strong diagonal control, we actually have to go for as much as possible the swindles, defending the side. So it does seem like losing out in terms of moves. So lucky for me, I still managed to squeeze out a draw. Unfortunately, no gain in points over there. We'll just move on to the next one as much as possible. Okay, doesn't seem like there's many 1 minute players at the moment, or I'm not being paired with the top players at least. We're going for the perpendicular and to Leader's Tiger, so let's just jump out and jump in again for Leader's Tiger counter. That's probably one of the many response that you can actually have. Just regroup into the center. So just jump out over here to cut out this particular disc that gives us access to both this F3 and F7 disc perhaps. So over here we can just play a quick chip move to the right, and yep, bait for this. We'll go in down to the quiet move in that sequence. Not too sure if that works out well. We'll go for the quiet move. And then over here, what we could do is probably wait for him to remove this. Right now, doesn't seem to be any good options. Let's just try a cutout move to set up the excess to jump in over here, perhaps. Okay, he's taken that excess itself, so that is a bit difficult. We'll just cut out over here and look for some excess perhaps to the top left. Take the quiet move first to the edge, and then we'll form a pair to the top. Try to create some, so now he doesn't have excess over here. We'll defend that edge in terms of tempo. Let's see. Probably feed the unbalanced edge across. We could take the unbalanced edge, he might attack it. Okay, in that case, we'll just cross back over here as a quiet move since he's played this. We'll go for this move. He might play the diagonal control, which is very good for him right now. Okay, he doesn't. We'll just feed off the entire right edge in terms of tempo and see whether that works out. Does seem to be a bit losing due to the edge captured over here. Unfortunately, I've timed out. So let's just move on to the next game. Okay, so we'll play black and we'll go for the Shaman opening again. Then form up the Shaman opening. So he'll cut into the center, we'll just cut back into the center likewise. Now he's gone to the top, we'll move up to the top as well. Now he's cut across, we'll take the center cut across looking for an additional tempo over here, but we'll just try to maintain the excess since he's removed it. So now we'll just jump back in for the excess and maintaining that center group shape. And then now he's chasing after this excess, we'll just defend it. He's probably just going to cut down one more for the excess, which makes sense. We'll just cut across perhaps, just let him have it. And then we'll go for the quiet move that is being unpoisoned. See whether that works out. Okay, over here we'll just cut into the center and just maintain that center shape. Look out for opportunities perhaps. Just take a diagonal cut So if he goes here, we could go here. Over here, we'll just defend the edge over here. And then let's just cut across. And we'll take the balance edge to the top. And then defend this, play this quiet move over here. Over here, we'll take the one gap to defend the edge potentially. So we'll just move on to the right, bottom right. Just press on since the other areas doesn't seem to be in question that much. So we'll take this passive shape and wait for the tempo. Yep. So we'll capture the edge and force probably the corner. We'll take the corner to the top. We'll take the top part. Then we'll cross back over here. So this is a potential swindle. We'll just feed this first. Let's just jump in and take back that sweep. And then if it goes here, yep, we'll just take the last bit. So yeah, we got lucky over here by defending the edge, and now we're up to 1700. That's great. So Shaman opening is probably something that is not commonly played among players, I guess. So right now we'll go for the cow variation since the opponent has played the diagonal opening. We'll play the head and tail over here. Line control, a quiet move, centralizing. Then we'll go for another, probably a centralizing move here. Okay, well, let's go for the centralizing move to the right. You might play a quiet move over here. Okay, just cut back into the center, poisoning this move. Maintaining the center shape right now. Just finding some moves in between. So as you can see, I'm just trying hard to maintain that center shape and try to find opportunities to grab an edge and try to squeeze into the sides and probably to the X squares and C squares to give me the corner. So let's just try to chip off over here to control this mini diagonal. And yeah, we'll just continue defending this diagonal across. He's taken that. We don't have immediate access over here. We'll just cross back, take the edge, and try to attempt to cover back. He'll take it, and we'll balance out the edge. Tempo-wise, we do seem to be having a slight advantage. We could form that unbalanced edge for him, since he's already gone around it to try to chase for that access. Okay. Over here, what we could do is actually jump out, since he doesn't have a direct safe move over here outwards. So we'll just feed that across, wait for that unbalanced edge to form up to our advantage. We'll just go for the easy wedge corner exchange. So we'll wait for that move. Probably made a mistake over there, perhaps. We'll go for that. Yeah. So we're just gonna keep on going with a couple of 1-minute games. Try to push for 2100 rating or probably 5 done, whichever comes first. Okay, so right now playing black. I'll try to get a Shaman opening, but went for the diagonal. So let's just play the cow variation and probably the sailboat opening, or otherwise known as the Panida opening. So just doing a diagonal cut for a regroup move into the center. This one is just controlling the centralizing axis over here. So just controlling this mini diagonal over here. So right now we'll go down and capture this edge control, just maintaining that centralized shape. Grab the edge. He might go over here. Okay, he's gone over there, so we'll just centralize to the top first. Try to go for the quiet move, giving him this pocket here so that we can jump in over here. Okay, we'll contest for the top edge based on tempo. Grab the edge. Then we'll grab the center, trying to provide access to balance out that edge. So over here we'll just play to the right side first, form a position before we actually balance out that edge, and then remove this excess. Over here we can probably try to go for, let's see, we'll probably try to go for a diagonal control by setting this up into black and then jump in over here as a diagonal control maneuver. White can easily cut back to this excess. Yeah, so we probably want to sandwich this in between and then provide the feed across. Didn't turn out too well. So white perpendicular opening. Opponent has played a rose or rabbit variation, so we'll just follow up with that, and then we'll go with the counter against rose, something less common at least. Just keeping to the edge over here, to the left. Grab the edge. So we control the tempo. Just cross below as a quiet move, cut across, and we'll build along the edges to the bottom, controlling the lines. So this looks good in terms of the edge play variation. So now just playing along the edges. So here we can play a quiet move, cut through. Then we'll cut through over here as another quiet move to play a group small and inside. At the same time, we obtain access to the corner, but there's no rush to jump into the corner at the moment, so we'll just play one more move out to the right and just try to make the opponent play a couple more moves to the right so that it becomes more favorable. Okay, I'll probably grab this. Then we have a diagonal cut. Then force feed the unbalanced edge and enter the pocket. Let's cut a diagonal cut across for the corner access, and we can probably wrap up the game from here this way in an anti-clockwise manner. So yeah, we have that swindle across in this column control. So go for the next game, playing as black. Facing against a perpendicular, we can try for the Shaman opening. So that's the Shaman opening. Then we'll jump straight through against the diagonal cut, centralize. Just maintaining the group small inside shape. If we take this move, he would probably get an easy response to d3. So we don't want that. We probably just cut that away first, the excess. And then we hit for this move, and basically he doesn't have that excess anymore. So over here we could jump probably into the center and just wait for the moves to play out. Control this line and this line. So let's feed this probably unbalanced edge. Just jump into the pocket over here, make a simple quiet move. Okay, we'll feed the poison. Grab the edge, jump in to the pocket, space there, feed the unbalance. can probably grab the edge here. Just take this, feed the force move, take the corner. So in blitz, when you're short of time, you can try to go for the force moves so that you can speed up your sequences. That'll probably help you gain back some time. Yeah, so that's the game wrapped up. Okay, can go for the next one. Okay, against Joe Sojo, a 2K rated player. Should be pretty tough. So just do cut across, centralize, just playing groups more inside, flipping one disc. Just chip off to the side, grab the unbalance edge, get this pocket unbalance edge over here. You can probably jump in for a quiet move, grab the edge, hit to the top as this is the one of the exposed discs. We'll probably go this way down, and if he takes this, we'll just extend and just control the edge from here. So over here we could jump out. So we'll go for this centralizing cut across. Can probably jump in here. It's probably going to feed the unbalance edge. We'll grab the corner first before it becomes an attacked unbalance edge. So we'll jump in over here, try to go for parity for the X square. Okay, let's go for parity first. Okay, we can then go for the corner. So we probably want to avoid swindling ourselves by removing that disc. So just try not to play this for now. Just stretch out to this move first. You might force the swindle over here, yep, which is hopefully fine because there is no excess of this over here. So just feed this across, still managed to squeeze out a win. So now on 1789, just pushing forward. Okay, against Silver Gusma, we can try for the Shaman opening again. Yep, so we'll cut in for the rose variation leading up to Shaman opening. And then we'll grab the edge over here with the pickup on the side, we'll jump into the center, cut, and then we'll grab the edge again. So sort of developing both sides while progressing and maintaining this center shape. Okay, and then we'll grab this move over here to grab the center shape. Grab the edge, grab the unbalance edge, and then jump in. So we're maintaining more of a edge play kind of shape here. Not too sure whether should we go in here at this point in time. Probably go in and feed that edge across. Try to gain tempo over there. Okay, now we can jump into the center with a quiet move. So if he does take to the right, we can probably just try to cut out over here to poison this move. So now that he's taken that move, we'll just develop probably the right edge. Okay, so he's timed out. Probably pretty tough situation for him. So now we've gone up to 1800. Let's just push a little bit further. Okay, let's move on to the next game. So just the standard counter against Rose, but just playing a different move instead. So we'll just go into the pocket, centralize. Just cut back into the center while maintaining this temporary access along the diagonal. Okay, we'll probably try to poison this approach to the right edge for black. Okay, he's played quite a loud move, so we'll just take a passive move across over here and probably do a swindle for the B square. Okay, we'll jump on to just centralize and regroup those discs and just continue to take quiet moves in this top area and wait for the opponent to actually wrap up those moves that he has over there. Okay, so he's actually resigned. We'll just move on to the next game then. Okay, paired against a 1700. We'll play the cow variation since he's playing the diagonal opening. Then, yeah, basically just cut across, regroup, centralize, regroup, chip to the side, quiet move. Centralize. Then we'll cut into the center for access. Then we'll probably go for a center cut move here. Cross back. Quiet to the edge. Centralize and poison. Feed the unbalanced edge across. Grab the strong edge over here, even though it's unbalanced. Okay, we'll jump in for this pocket quiet move. Probably go into the X square, do a floating, semi-floating X square, poison that move. We can play a poison move this flip. Just jump to the edge over here. If you place this, we get a quiet move here. So we'll take that in response. Now that he's run out of moves, we'll just feed this corner to him so that we can wedge and get that unbalanced edge. If he doesn't take it, we'll just take the edge, just sacrifice probably another 6 more discs to the side. May not be entirely necessary, but probably the easiest sequence. So just jump in for the access to the corner and just try to wrap up the game over here. So yeah, control this part of the game and just sweep up the rest. Let's move on. So as you can see, yeah, a lot of centralizing gameplay, trying to make consecutive moves in the same region. So that's probably the gist of Othello. But when you play against stronger opponents, they actually design openings to actually make the moves less intuitive. So the same can be said when you are trying to design an opening line to actually specialize in or actually play. You would actually try to make a sequence that makes it very challenging for your opponent to play. So here we're just going to centralize and then just cut and maintain his diagonal. So right now he's created this access for him to jump in. We'll just take it since there's no easy way to actually counter it. We'll grab the diagonal cut to potentially form a strong pair move. If it cuts through, okay, so we can probably just grab the pair or we'll just take this edge first. Since this move will still remain as a quiet move. We'll jump in, feed the edge. He's given us a chance to control this 2 interior disc edge. So yeah, why not just take it? We'll grab the pair. Now he's gone in. We'll use the strength of this 2 disc interior, which is controlling these diagonal lines that are going out to the left and right to our advantage. And yeah, try to work our way from there. We need this access now to try to balance out this edge. If he jumps in, okay, so he doesn't jump in, we could probably remove that access temporarily. Go for the edge exchange over here. You can probably go for this move, feed this, and try to attempt to go for a feed over here to try to wedge. So this is a different type of wedge. So now we have the diagonal control. Okay, we could go for this move over here to continue feeding it. Do not commit to the corner because the opponent is actually just trying to feed that move across. So we'll get this and just sweep this across. Then just take the last bit of this. Okay, probably got a bit lucky over there. I believe I was probably losing at some point in that game. So yeah, the good thing and bad thing about Blitz is basically you probably get the chance to actually get away from a difficult situation. So black, yep, against a 1900 player. Let's go ahead and try the Shaman opening. So we'll cut into the center, and yep, we hit for the Shaman opening again. We'll do a straight cut down, across, regroup into the center. Just take a chip to the side, more of a passive waiting move. And then we'll jump into the center again over here. Over here we can look for some regrouping moves. So maybe we can play this move to point back to this and create access. Control this mini to this diagonal first before we jump in, since there's no rush. Yep, since he's taken it, we could take this edge first and jump into the center. Okay, we can probably take this as a waiting move. Hopefully he removes this, we can get the quiet move. Alternatively, let's take this move first. More of a waiting move. We can jump into the center, try to get consecutive moves across. Okay, that kind of backfired perhaps. Just trying to find a way out here. So just take a strong cut out, take the unbalanced edge perhaps. And just try to regroup over here. Okay, so that's probably lucky on my part. We'll take a C square over here since white only has safe moves towards here. Since he's given the corner, we'll just take the corner. Just pick up the corner at that point in time. So just pull back for now and try to grab the edge. And then we'll go for the feed for the unbalanced exchange. Go for that pocket move over here. I think he must have missed the swindle, unfortunately, for him. So we'll just wrap up hastily, I guess. So I believe he definitely missed the swindle over here, but yeah, we'll take that. So hopefully for the guys, for you at home when you're watching this video or wherever you are, this video is actually giving you some insights to playing Othello, or at least trying to win in Othello. So we play the perpendicular. This is quite a standard rose variation. So the opponent has actually played a Shaman opening against me. So let's just try the diagonal cut across and see how that plays out. We'll just keep to our side and we will rotate across this way to try to find access. Cut to the center to try to maintain the diagonal control. Okay, he's probably going to cut out. Okay. We'll jump into the center to try to maintain that shape. Okay, over here it seems a bit difficult. Could take this quiet move over here. And then we can probably take the unbalanced edge. It's fine, we can balance it back, and this is not attackable per se. We'll regroup and remove that excess, preventing black snake's good move. So let's just balance back that edge. Grab the unbalanced edge. Black is going for the quiet. We'll just fill this up. Okay, he's going for the feed. Probably go for the edge here. Let's take this instead, because this is not being occupied. If he feeds it, we can potentially get consecutive moves. So let's jump in here and force control this mini diagonal over here and just force him to another X square perhaps. Okay, he's gone down that way. Probably try to go this way down. Try to secure the edge as much as possible. So we have given up tempo due to the short of time, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it was a nice Shaman opening display, even though it was used against me, I guess. So it's quite a good game by Penko. So I guess the good thing about the Shaman opening is that it's very intuitive, at least for the starting position. So if white doesn't know it, it's actually quite difficult to actually keep up. So let's go for the Taminori since the opponent has played Tiger. So just taking one square and then just feeding and penetrating into the center, maintaining the center shape. And let's just take a chip off to the bottom, just maintaining the central shape, poisoning those moves. Over here, we can. The opponent has made a fairly loud move. We can probably just cut, chip, and just try to regroup to the left. Probably a bit of just ignoring the right disc at the moment, and just maintaining the shape to the left. So feed that edge across. Jump over here as a quiet move, relatively. And he's probably just jumping. Okay, he didn't. We'll take a quiet move up to the top again. Try to regroup from there. We'll make a passive block shape to the bottom. Try to gain some moves over there. So, okay, we'll take the unbalanced edge here as well. And go in for the diagonal cut across, which is relatively quiet. Okay, over here, can probably take another diagonal cut across. Try to see whether that happens. That works. Get the X square feed. Go for the quiet move feed here for the unbalanced edge, perhaps. Just check that there's no swindle. Okay, we'll just take the equilibrium edge to the right and just wait for the opponent to actually give up that position. Okay, right now we do have a bit of a parity advantage. So if he takes here, we can jump in. Now that he's taken this, we'll just sweep it clean down. Yep, quite a narrow win. Probably a bad end game on my part. So I guess usually the end game is indeed tough at a blitz level. But I'm sure the top players still maintain quite a high level of awareness in the end game. So let's go for the Shaman opening as usual. So now that he's pulled back, we'll just take one disc over here and regroup. So let's just try to keep to our side, which is the bottom for now. Just branch out to the center, just making a quick chip across. Okay, probably another move to the center and just slowly advance this way. A quiet move chip across and a cross back move to regroup. Let's just cross over here, to feed the edge. Okay, we'll probably defend this line first. Feed the unbalance. If he takes it, we'll just grab this. Okay, we'll jump in for a diagonal cut. Feed down this. Create that unbalanced edge, and then feed this corner to attack it. He doesn't take it, we'll take it. Take a poison move over here. first, and he doesn't want to take this, so we'll jump into the center. Even though we lose parity to the lower right, the top is somewhat compensated by consecutive moves, potentially. So we grab this, and probably we'll have to sweep down this way instead. Let's go down this way, so he has no choice but to feed this entire row across to us. And yep, somehow it does turn out to be a positive outcome. So the bad thing about Shaman opening is that it usually results in endgames that are really, really counterintuitive. So you really have to think through when you're put on the spot. So perpendicular opening, the rows cut out, quite a standard variation. We'll go for the non-conventional response over here. Then go for the quiet move. Let's go for probably a chip to the side instead, just a quiet move and poisoning this G4 move. Okay, let's just take the entire row across. Perhaps just maintaining the shape to the top, regroup. And over here, I guess we can take the edge since this is potentially a quiet move in the future. Yeah, let's just grab it and just try to balance out. Yep, we get tempo, so we get 1 or 2 moves to the edge, which should be quite strong from a tempo point of view. We'll jump out to the center, retaining this F6 move for the future. Let's feed this so that he forms a block when he takes B3. We'll jump into the top and create this shape that would probably result in more moves regardless of where he plays to the top. He could potentially go after this move and make consecutive tempo to C1. So perhaps we should just poison this move first, even though it's an X square and a relatively early one at that. Let's just grab to the edge. Okay, maintaining the edge to the side. Okay, let's just jump into the center here. So opponent has gone into the X square. This is a floating X square, which is highly effective. Yeah, we'll just jump into the center for now. Just make moves in the center pocket as much as possible. Feed that edge across. I think this was a misclick due to time, perhaps. So, yep, we got away lucky for this. Moving up to 8Q and 1933 in rating. So, I guess the target here is 2100 to begin with. Maybe if we do have some time, we can just try to push slightly higher. So, yep, going for the Shaman opening again, which is the focus of this session. Just hitting straight down and then followed by a centralizing move. Centralize. So just take centralize, quiet, small. Take a point move to point back. Centralize. Take a diagonal cut to the edge. Threaten to form a pair to gain tempo. Let's form that pair. Grab, preventing this move. If he takes in, we'll just jump in. So these two mid-game moves probably form a pair. So probably complement each other in terms of this move excess. So this move was covered by this. Now that he's jumped in for another move to get that excess, we'll poison it. So because this move doesn't seem too worthwhile playing. We'll probably go for this cut across, waiting for him to grab the edge to create a move over here for me. If he takes this, which is more passive, probably have to create one more move, so we'll take this first. And take the unbalanced edge, which is attackable, unfortunately. And then probably try to work something out from here. Okay, seems to be quite stuck at the moment. Let's go for the B square swindle. So try to get consecutive moves along this side. Let's feed the unbalanced edge to continue poisoning the move to the right and grab the center pocket space. Okay, we'll go for the 2-disc interior. Hopefully we can gain some moves here. Probably we could go for the X square diagonal control here instead of the top, because the top is doesn't really impact anything. Grab the corner, and yeah, basically we can wrap this game up with some swindles. So this is a swindle, making consecutive moves. We can wrap up the game this way. Yep, so quite a lucky end over there. Just making a push further up at this point in time. Okay, Tatsu, let's try Shaman as usual. Regroup. Taking one disc in the center. Okay, we will jut out to the side, almost taking a jab to the right, creating this head and tail situation where you can get a quiet move over here. Jump into the center perhaps. Okay, we can probably take a chip off to the left over here. Open up an alley for him to play. He doesn't take it, then I guess we can just feed this. So feed and straight or penetrate. If he does take this move, we can just go straight down and look to poison that move and removing this excess to the bottom. Okay, he cuts through to the top. Cut to create excess. Let's control this. Unfortunately, this poisons this move. Probably not a great move because it obstructs myself. So we're just trying to maintain this diagonal control at the same time to his access to the other moves. Okay, he made a quiet move which I have to respond. This is probably a poison response. Let's jump down and just try to maintain this diagonal here. Hopefully forcing an error from him. Feed the poison move. Go for the center interior 2-disc control. Feed the corner and try to go for the wedge. Feed the unbalanced edge. Go for the wedge. Take the corner. Take the edge and we'll push forward. Great. We'll push forward for parity. Oh, that was a misclick, unfortunately. Okay, but we'll take that. Okay, so we have the same opponent. We go for the perpendicular opening. Let's see how that plays out. Can go for the Kormoth against Stephenson, Tama Plaza. Probably go for the jut out jab straight down to the bottom. Can probably defend this centralizing regrouping. Then over here we can take this to try to get consecutive moves across. He poisons that, so take center and cut through. Probably not the best sequence, but let's try this. Taking the unbalanced edge to the top. Okay, let's try probably the top to regroup. This creates a quiet move for him to the bottom, which seems pretty strong for him. So things are definitely going to be tougher for me from this moment on. Let's feed the poison move here. Just jump into the quiet move to the center. Just waiting for some mistakes on his end. Okay, so he played a loud move here. We can find on the tail end is a quiet move. Although we give up tempo over there, can jump into the balance edge and minimize the risk to the left. potentially gaining tempo over here, perhaps, since this is a quiet move. Okay, he guards that. We'll just jump down over here. Try to maintain this diagonal control where he jumps in, and we'll go for the diagonal control over here. So he cuts in, and then we'll go for the diagonal control, leaving him only one move. Go for this, and just regroup back to get back the corner to the top. Okay, so I guess that was a lucky escape. Okay, let's just try to press on a little harder. 1977 right now. So the target is 2100, at least for the Shaman opening, but I just realized that I actually played into the Tiger opening again. Probably due to bad habit of mine. Okay, let's go for the usual Tiger Many Blacks. So I'm not too sure why they call this the chicken hook opening though, but yeah, we'll go for the jab to the top, followed by the mini diagonal control over here. Feed the unbalanced edge, perhaps. Jump down to the diagonal, cut across, try to retain more moves for myself. Centralize. Just taking a diagonal cut again. Probably taking a quiet move down to the edge to get consecutive moves of E8 and E7 perhaps. Now we have quiet edge move, we can take it. Feed the unbalanced edge across. Go on the tail end, remove and try to control this line. Go to this side to form that shape. If he takes this, we can feed the unbalanced edge. Yep, if he takes the center, we can take either of these moves to just centralize as much as possible and feed, either take control of the edge or we just feed edges. So let's take this to the bottom and just try to feed this unbalanced edge across. We'll grab this top edge. Probably forced to go for a diagonal control. Probably a mistake somewhere there. Something I missed, I guess. But it's probably pretty difficult for him to come up with the best sequence as well, to try to get that corner access. So he's elected to go for this move. Let's cut diagonally to create that access. I think that was probably quite a good resolution by him to actually obtain this access. Okay, so I did have a slight advantage in terms of time. Sorry for actually winning the game by time, but yeah, that's how Blitz is, I guess. You have to make lightning quick decisions. So let's go for the Shaman opening against Tawamaru Black. I believe he should be a Japanese player. So this is Shaman opening, just cutting across, forming that pyramid triangle shape. And then, yep, we'll go for the edge and then we'll go for the regroup point move. And then let's feed the unbalanced edge across, take away the access to that regroup move for white. Over here, we'll just keep to our side to the bottom, perhaps. And just continue to extend this balanced edge and feed this pocket space. Take that quiet move. We'll take this quiet move on this side of the board. Let's try to jump in over here for probably a tempo exchange. So black, white, black kind of exchange. Let's grab the edge, controlling with one additional tempo to G2. Feed that unbalanced edge across. Probably you can take this move first before giving him an attackable unbalanced edge to the top. Cut down, getting access to this is probably quite important as well. Let's just jump into the center and try to get some dis along this main diagonal. So right now there is a threat as well for this diagonal because he might jump in. fairly dangerous as well for us. But we have one more tempo here, I guess. If he takes the diagonal control, we can jump in over here. Still result in quite a clean area to the bottom right and top right. Okay, let's go for the swindle and multiple moves to the top and also to the bottom. Surprisingly, okay. Yep, I wasn't expecting an easy end game over there, but yeah, let's go ahead and take that as part of the benefit of the Shaman opening. Now we can go for the perpendicular opening, then we cut through. Okay, Stephenson to calm off variation, pretty standard. Okay, lightning bolt. Yeah, lightning bolt is actually quite a special opening, which is generally quite tough to play against, especially when you're playing white and your opponent basically has that book or the fixed opening line nailed down pretty much. So yeah, we'll just try to centralize and try to play some quiet moves to try to stay alive. Okay, let's try to take this to create access to the center and at the same time trying to target back as a regroup move. So if he does take this pocket move, we can form a pair, so I would prefer to play to the top. So let's form that pair, which is usually probably advantageous. In terms of tempo, we'll take this to poison this particular move at b5. First, break the shape, and then find quiet moves like this to play. Probably make him form that unbalanced edge to the top using a quiet move and then slot in over here to make multiple moves. And then we'll jump in right here, feed the unbalanced edge. Okay, over here, perhaps we could just go for the feed to the edge and just attack the wall. But before that, a diagonal control may happen, so let's just defend that diagonal first. Okay, probably not worth going for that. We'll just feed that wall across, and we could just do a force feed of this corner, force him to trade off this corner and the edge, and we can grab this wedge and also the corner to the top. So right now we have the access to the corner, we'll grab that, and we'll take the top edge, take this, and then we'll take the top, and we'll go for a semi-swindle over here. To sweep and control this diagonal and finish off the move to the bottom. Okay, let's move on. We are at 2014. So the target here is to actually hit 2100. And then we can probably swap to a different specialized opening gameplay. So I would say that the Shaman opening is probably useful against players who don't really know it. But against the top players, their concept of tempo and the opening to mid-game logic is just way too strong to actually try to pull off a risky opening. So this probably applies to all other non-perfect openings that you may want to try, which is easy to grasp. So we'll just cross back. This is a sharp calm off shape. We'll take the regroup to the center. And let's see, perhaps we could go for the edge in this shape. Let's go to the cut into the center. Let's cut out for this to access this for the B square swindle. Okay, we'll go for the B square swindle. We'll take the block first, feed it, grab this access back to try to go for a nice edge move. Yep, to H6. He's played this move, which is a centralizing move, but gives up this quiet move to G6. Over here, let's just cut out over here to try to make multiple moves in exchange. This is actually probably not in a hurry. Let's try A6 instead. Okay, we'll take control of the edge by approaching the edge this way. Okay, what we want to do is feed that edge to the top, balance back our edge to the left, and then he probably go for a diagonal control which we can cut through. Okay, he doesn't do that, we'll just grab the corner then. It's an easy corner access. Probably not the best move, but yeah, we'll take that. And then just go for consecutive tempo. If he feeds this, let's just grab the corner first in case he goes for the diagonal control, which we wouldn't be able to actually return back to that position. Okay, he grabs the edge, feeds the, and then we'll grab the last move for probably quite a relatively tighter win than expected. Yeah, I should probably list down the opening that I am using against Rose, perhaps. So I'm just going for the white perpendicular. Tiger goes, okay, he's playing the opening by the world champion. That's why the name is AK Kun, which is probably a short form of Akun, which is Akihiro Kun, which is Akihiro Takahashi, who is actually the 2019 world champion, which was also Super Ace, which I lost earlier too. We'll just grab the edge over here. So this counter to the bottom is very favored towards trying to grab the edge, which might be suitable for edge play experts to actually use this particular variation against this opening. So over here, probably what we could do is take this to the edge, which only gives him access to create a quiet move for me, I guess. So over here, he wants to jump in. We'll take a quiet move to the center instead then, since that has opened up. And then we'll take this head and tail quiet move. Take a block shape, passive shape to the right, waiting for moves by the opponent. So this is getting a bit tough. So just grab the edge to the left. And probably exchange a tempo over here with a white, black, white. So it's almost like a force 1-2 and then grab the edge kind of maneuver. Let's grab this perhaps to try to force feed the corner. Okay, he takes it. He does realize that tempo wise he is potentially losing out if he doesn't. Poison the top. Just continue to play out moves to the top. Okay, yeah, hopefully Parity somehow manages to win the game. Grab the top corner and just wrap it up over here. Okay, luckily still managed to wrap up the game with parity. So the strength for white, as usual, during most world championships when both players are close in playing level, white is the preferred color because you can rely on natural parity, which is basically the right to the last move or last few moves of the game. So let's go with the Shaman opening. Try to capitalize on the Shaman opening as much as possible. We'll probably take a look at the statistics before we end off the session. Okay, over here we could actually go for probably a control of this diagonal, potentially. Jumps in, we can go for the centralizing move behind. Okay, and then we'll try to go for the strong edge move to h3. Okay, now that he's taken that away, could probably still go for it, I guess. Okay, let's just take a passive waiting move to the top and see how that plays out. Again, we can play one more passive move to the top right. Though I don't really like that he does have access over here. We'll just control that access to the right first and try to close out the bottom. Okay, since he's opened up this, we'll feed this across to him. So now he's opening quite a few moves, probably losing some of his lead by actually playing to the side. Perhaps he's reluctant to go to the edge, which is quite a pity because he was actually probably way ahead in the game earlier on based on how I roughly estimate the tempo. So just regroup to the top. So yeah, it is a waste that he actually had that opening advantage, but kind of squandered it away. back, I guess. Let's take the edge move with a 1 square gap, just to trap the opponent in more of a passive manner, and just wait out that move for sequence. Let's take a diagonal cut across over here. Okay, so this is probably a bit of a dilemma. I have to take it because of parity, in terms of the odd region that connects the 2 squares and the 1 square over here earlier. So take the corner. Okay, he jumps in. We'll probably have to go for the sweep down. And then, yep, probably just a narrow win. Not as comfortable as I would have liked, but yeah, I'll take it anyway for now. So right now we are up to 5Q, and just pushing forward. Hopefully we can hit 2100. Let's go for the Shaman opening. Okay, so that's the Shaman. Go off to the edge. Centralize. Centralize as a block, I guess. Waiting. Centralize move. And another centralizing move. So as you can see, for Shaman opening, somehow the moves are actually pretty simple to grasp. And yeah, if your opponent plays to your advantage, it gets probably even simpler, at least for the starting stage. Just need to figure out the end game, I guess. So let's just feed, perhaps. Let's just take the edge. I think there is enough tempo. Grab the unbalanced edge, which is balanceable right now. Additional tempo to the top. But first we'll fill up the bottom in terms of the quiet move. Then we'll take the edge in terms of him filling up a pair. Okay, so he's basically resigned from there. Let's just move on. Just try to press on. Oh, okay, Fumpy Cat. So Fumpy Cat is actually the double world champion from America. Mr. Ben Seeley. Always a pleasure to play against him. Very difficult for sure, but let's just try. So over here, we're just playing the chimney opening. Cut out to the center excess. Try to get some excess into the center. Make a loud move to the side, but probably create some excess. Let's just try to make this an exclusive move for black. And then we can jump in over here to poison this move. So hopefully that yields some results. This is a quiet move in response. Okay, so right now it is a bit of a dilemma. We'll just take a waiting move to the top. He might play this for tempo. We'll feed this pair first. Go to the center, control this mini diagonal over here temporarily. Okay, if I take this, he'll stone me. So let's just go for the X square perhaps. And just try to regroup to the top right and just, make a quiet move. Okay, we'll break this and poison this move to the bottom. Form that chip shape to the top. Feed him the corner perhaps. Extend this so that this becomes probably a hyper even number theory region in the future where I can gain back the parity if possible. No idea if that will work out anyway, but we'll have to try. Let's just take that pair for now. Try to go for probably parity, but it seems like he has parity pretty much sealed off. Okay, we need to try to get this move in order to make consecutive moves, but I don't think that is actually happening. So unfortunately for me, this game is lost. Good game, Mr. Ben Seeley for BCAT. Well done. So unfortunately, that didn't play out as per expected, but I think I did have an opportunity here and there to actually try to win the game. So let's just push forward for more games. Hopefully we don't have to meet too many world champions along the way of just trying to secure a 2100 rating. Okay, we're going for the Terminary opening setup, I guess. Okay, so he just played Akun. We'll just cut into the center. Probably maintain the center shape over here. Okay, we'll take a pocket, quick, quiet move. And we'll take an easy edge to the top, perhaps, since this is empty. You try to make consecutive moves. One more here. We don't have it now. We'll just try to get back that access to access this spot. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we'll grab this. Just more of a passive waiting move. Just regroup to the edge right now since we have that tempo advantage, I guess. Just grab the edge, giving more like a feed and then grab kind of situation. And then we'll try to go for tempo, but this is a black disc, so let's just defend the edge for now. Okay, he feeds the unbalanced edge, so this gives an opportunity to actually get consecutive quiet moves over here, but we already have a swindle. Let's just try to push for one more perhaps. Yeah. Can grab the center, and then we can, okay, since he's forced the corner, we can take this. Okay, we'll take the side, so when you're early up in the corner, you can do an interior sweep. So this is basically a floating X square without opponent having moved over here to access the corner. So this makes a clean sweep of this 7th row and also additional moves. Okay, he's resigned. Just another 46 more points to go. Let's just press on. Okay, Yura. So Yura, okay, he's playing a diagonal these days. Usually he plays the perpendicular. Probably a change in opening specialization. So let's just try to go for this move, keeping to the top. And then regrouping perhaps, trying to maintain this excess of this diagonal axis. So we'll just try to control that 3 disc axis. Probably cut out over here. And then jump for the quiet move. If he takes it, we'll feed the unbalanced edge. Okay, go for the centralizing point move. We can point down. Get the 2 disc interior, which is usually strong, but depends on how you use it. Let's go for this move perhaps to try to get consecutive moves to this region. He's defended it, so we'll just block it over here. This next good move for him. So the reason why I don't want to play it to the bottom is I'm still waiting for him to commit somewhat, I guess. Let's go for this passive waiting move first. So he's committed to that move to the bottom. We'll just take this move. It's almost like a mid-game parity where I wait for the opponent to play into that region, followed by me actually jumping into that region. Okay, we'll just jump for the straight cut to obtain this key disc that will provide me access to C8. And then try to work my way around here. Probably grab this so that we can make consecutive moves to C7 as well. Not too sure if that works out, to be honest, now that he's gone for the forced parity perhaps. So try to make consecutive moves down. Let's just feed the corner first, because there isn't any risk per se to actually feed the corner first. We'll grab back the balance edge since he didn't take it. He's going for the diagonal control. Okay, let's just feed it down. It's probably going to be a tight game due to parity. Let's just feed this and just make an estimation. Yep, it's almost like trying to overwhelm the opponent with the discount, even though I don't get the parity kind of endgame. Let's go for the perpendicular opening here against Yura. Okay, he's gone for the wild rabbit. So usually Yura actually plays quite orthodox opening, but it seems like recently he's been into venturing into unorthodox or probably just more rare openings. So let's just go for the regroup of discs. Just trying to centralize. Over here he's doing a point move down to here. We'll just block that move. Okay, over here we can poison this move. perhaps. Take a chip off to the diagonal, cut into the center, try to find some excess over here. We can take this first since there's no urgency to jump in here. And then when he chases after the excess and we realize we cannot defend it, let's just feed the unbalanced edge. Okay, let's take one more cross back move, which he doesn't have access to actually cross back on this way, down. Okay, we want to think about what we can do here. Let's just grab the unbalanced edge, perhaps. I'm not too sure. Okay, we'll take the bottom, which is hopefully no risk involved. Let's just grab this so that we can make consecutive moves to the top. Okay, if he goes here, we'll grab the edge. He could make a poison move here, which I didn't plan for, but yeah, let's just try to improvise over here. Let's grab into the center. If he takes this, we have one more move here, perhaps. Almost seems as if it can wait, but can't see a better move for sequence here. Almost seem trapped. Let's go for this move first. He'll probably jump in over here, gain the corner access, which can do a swindle. Yep. So right now it seems like it's pretty much over for me at this point in time. The only chance is for the diagonal control, which potentially gives some move here. Okay, so unfortunately we lost that one. Okay, graph code. Okay, he's playing a diagonal opening. We'll go for the cow variation. Let's just go for the sailboat. Probably, okay, he's gone for the unconventional sailboat variation, I guess. So we'll cut down to the center this way. Then we will actually jump into the center here. Grab an edge here. He's gonna jump out. He's gonna jump out. We'll just stretch out over here to the top. Cut into the center. Take this move as a regrouping measure, countermeasure if he goes in here. Right now he's pointing towards this move, which isn't great for me. Can probably take a diagonal cut across first and ignore that, hopefully. Then we'll just jump in for this move first and occupy that spot. Let's just take this. Try to chase the tempo down. Grab a diagonal, chip across to the left. Wonder if that works, but let's go for it. Let's just try to strengthen the wall to the right first. Perhaps just constructing that wall. Then we'll jump in for the exchange in tempo in terms of maybe black-white. Okay, if he doesn't take it, we'll probably go for this to access the cut back into the center over here. He doesn't take it, we'll take it to the top. Right now he takes this and he has that diagonal control, which is not great for me. We'll just cut in with this. Try to go for this excess over here. Okay, we'll go for this move. And then we'll grab the corner in anticipation over here and try to make use of parity that we've gotten. And then just squeeze out the last couple of this to the bottom left. Okay. So now we've hit 2074. I guess the endpoint is close. Okay, so let's take a look. Perpendicular. Opening, I guess. Palma Plaza, centralizing, cutting into the center again. Probably defend this side, jumping out. Okay, it's almost the same opening that we played earlier, which is just centralizing. which is kind of strange. He probably has something planned to actually change it up. So let's see where that is. Could just try to follow up. Although I believe he should have a plan in hand, or he has gone on to review the game. So let's see what is in store for us. This sequence almost seems the same if you observe carefully. Okay, so now he's changed it up a little. He didn't go for the H6 move. That would actually give me a clear move to the left. So he's done H6 again, which gives me a clear quiet move to the left. Over here, we could just extend this balance edge and try to go for tempo. Okay, over here he's feeding that unbalanced edge. Let's try this move instead. If he goes in here, we'll grab the corner. If he takes this, we can jump into the center perhaps. Let's just close in on this move. So this is a diagonal control move. Let's just grab this, which feeds the corner, and then we actually might essentially have parity. We'll control this diagonal, and we'll jump in over here perhaps. If he takes this, we have the swindle. And if he doesn't take it, we can probably play somewhere else. So that's the swindle. We can get this move, followed by this, to sweep back the this, and to the top. Okay, let's just move on. Okay. So 2085, nearing our target of 2100. Okay, this is basically the sailboat variation, and then we'll just go for this. And the straight cut down, and probably the centralizing move here. So probably graphical is also relying on this particular opening variation that is specialized for him. And we could just try to capitalize on that sequence as much as possible and just cut into the center. Okay, now he's approached the edge. So let's just play a waiting move perhaps if he takes the top unbalanced edge. Okay, so this is a nice cutout from him. We'll play a poison move. This is poison because he has established this white disc, which flips all these discs. Doesn't seem too good for him. Let's try to cut in and get this disc to point towards this excess, gaining that excess. Grab the edge to the top, to the right, and then we'll just keep on going to the right for tempo. Hopefully that works out fine. We'll just maintain the poison by playing b6 and still continue to just keep this move poison. Okay, in terms of tempo, I guess we could take it because this is not attackable. If white plays here, this is a quiet move for me. And over here, we can play the diagonal control, I guess, pretty much quite early, but should still be playable. Okay, we will take this. It's almost like a semi-swindle setup, and we'll wait by playing this move first. Okay, oh, I actually lost parity potentially. Let's try this move perhaps. Okay, so he didn't fall for it, but we'll just try to make the best out of it. We'll try to squeeze as many discs as possible over here. Okay, I actually did this probably parity of some sort, unfortunately. So, yep, that was quite a wasted game, but yep, good game, graphical. It got me there, I guess. Okay, so against Fumbi Cat again. Let's see what opening he has in store. Okay, this is almost like a, I don't know, crayfish opening. So let's just cut into the center, regroup to the center. Let's try to rationalize this and see whether we can get somewhere against the world champion. Just going for the center cut, maintaining this axis. Cut out to the center, back into the center. He'll try to get this to probably balance out the excess over here. Let's jump into the center over here. Just cutting across. Waiting for this move to be played actually. For me to play this move. Okay, let's try to cut out to center and create some access to certain moves. Cut down to the bottom to try to gain access. This is probably not what I want to play, but currently being forced, I guess. So let's go for this move to try to make consecutive moves to the left. And yep, luckily for me, this is a clean cut row for me to play a quiet move. So he did give me that, which is a bit strange, I guess. And let's just cut in over here to form that potential backing or wall before I try to do probably a floating X square may work, I guess. But he could just jump in over here. Let's try a floating X square. So he could jump in over here. Yep, and potentially, yep, he takes the top. We'll grab this. Potentially actually losing parity, but let's see how that plays out. Play a quiet move, pocket space. Quite surprising that he actually surrendered parity back to me, potentially. But the shape does seem a little tough for me to actually get any anchor or leverage. Okay, so this was a bit of a lucky game for me, I guess, to actually pick up those rating. So 2097, hopefully one more game short of 2100, and we can call this a day or a video, and probably go back to the drawing board to try to pick up different openings instead of this opening set. We'll just try something different. So chip off over here. Okay, let's just go for the center cut first, followed by another center cut to try to get access. Let's just seal up this part first, cut back for the access, grabbing this for that access. He doesn't take it. For now, there's no urgency to actually grab it, because if he takes the edge, it'll be an unbalanced edge. Over here, he has opened up a quiet for this balanced edge for me to grab. So I'll take it and jump in for that one square gap. Let's go for the centralizing move. Then cut into the center again. Okay, over here, let's go for the poison approach and feed this unbalanced edge, potentially. If he takes this, we can jump back in. Okay. And then let's cross into the center, get back that access, go for the diagonal control next perhaps. If he takes it away, we'll cut back into the diagonal, capturing the d4 disc to get that corner. Okay, let's get the corner first. Okay, over here, let's take a diagonal cut, maintaining this swindle, and let's see how that goes. This is a 5 disc space. Let's go for parity to the top right. Okay, and then we'll just regroup to the bottom left, sealing off the top right and bottom left regions as an even region for parity. Grab the swindle, feed the edge. I should have taken a corner, I guess. Let's go for this and seal off the game. And yes, we've hit our target of 2103. So I'm gonna stop the recording right now, and hope you enjoyed this video. So hopefully that gives you some insights for specialized openings and how it can be used to actually work your way up the ranks. And thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next episode for specialized openings gameplay.